Welcome, everybody. Boom! Welcome, everybody, back to TJ Warren TV. Whoa, I got the American Idiot background going, Connor.
Oh,
it's not professional.
No, we need the Arsenal background on.
We need the Arsenal background. Hey, all right. Welcome back to TJ Warren TV, coming to you live from Washington, D.C., where tonight Arsenal Football Club will take on the powerhouse MLS All-Stars. Absolute, yeah, they are world beaters. Kenny Ken will be a little late, but he will be joining us shortly, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Big up, TJ. Are you doing a watch-along tonight? No, because I'll be at the game.
You'll live stream it from his phone.
I will, yeah. If I live stream it from my phone, I'm pretty sure I'll get kicked out. So yeah. I will do a little bit of a vlog. I've been shooting video, and Connor, I'm just going to post it in the drive, and you can do whatever you want with it. Like, we're just going to, like, the videos that I'm getting, and I've been sending most of it to the Instagram chat, have been absolutely hilarious. Just the culture here versus what you'll see at a match in England is completely different.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was seeing some, let's get into it. So last night, I was at the pub down the street with all the other Arsenal America individuals. And I don't know what it is, but random Tottenham fans were walking by wearing, like, I saw a guy wearing a Basuma shirt. I saw a guy wearing a Kane shirt. I saw a guy wearing a freaking Lo Celso shirt.
Like, they're not even meant to be. I swear they were in Perth the other day. Like, why are they just casually strolling around?
It's just a bunch of people that happen to live in DC taking the piss walking by, and they know nothing is going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, if that happened in England, like, they would be strung up. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd probably be a way different stuff. Like, you wouldn't be able to walk around that part of North London with it just casually walking with a Tottenham shirt on. And Jez, by the way, the game's tomorrow it's tomorrow for UK. It's 1:30 in the morning. It's
1:30 in the morning.
In America.
Yeah, so in 7 hours. 7 hours, 15 minutes. Big up, Jez, by the way. I saw the True Gunner TV stream last night. I watched it after I got back, and you are an absolute legend, my friend. Great job on that, handling that situation, and I won't get into it. Yeah, 1 a.m. UK time tonight, so I will not be doing that. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so do we want to get into this?
Yeah, like, of course, it's a big thing. It's technically a big thing because you've got on the biggest, or maybe it's now the second because United Stand's taken over, but it's one of the biggest sports channels on the whole of YouTube or social media. So, mate, go for it.
Yeah, but it was just so weird how it happened. So I want to first of all, I want to say I'm disappointed that I didn't get to meet. I haven't met Jez in person yet. I haven't met Conor in person yet. I haven't met thanks for handling the Jaime, we met yesterday at the Navy Yard. Yep. Big up Jaime. Thanks for following me, my man. Broadcasting live from my hotel room in DC. So I'll see you down at Duke's in a couple of hours. But yeah, so I was with my wife. We were walking to the White House. I was wearing my pink Martinelli shirt. And I turned the corner. So there's like this big like oval where you from like a half a mile away, quarter mile away, you can take pictures of yourself in front of the White House, right? They got so many fences, so much protection. Joey Biden was home. So there was Secret Service and all this stuff everywhere. So
did you manage to get him to join us for a shot?
I asked him again. I asked the Secret Service if I could get in and see President Biden. It's on official business, and they said no. I don't know who you are. Get out of here. But anyway,
I'm TJ Warren TV. What do you mean? Like,
TJ Warren TV. I am the most popular American Arsenal channel. You have never heard of me, and they're like, please leave before we have to arrest you. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, darn. So I walked by and I turned the corner to like get in front of the White House, and I look to my left and I'm like, is that Lee Judges? Like, I literally look to my left and it's like this guy, and I elbow my wife. I'm like, that guy looks like Lee Judges. And she's like, I don't know who you're talking about, but okay, stop staring. you know?
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay. So I turn. I'm like, that's weird. Can't be too much of a coincidence for that to happen. And then I turn to my right. There's Cecil, Robbie, Curtis, and Turkish was somewhere down the lane. But yeah, all 5 of them were there. And it's like I go Nat. I'm like, AFTV is here. She's like, are you going to talk to him? I'm like, no, because I talk so much shit about them that like I can't go up to him and be like, hey, can I get on mic? You know?
Very quickly. Hi, mate. Yeah, I am. Literally, I'm next to TJ. I'll knock on the wall right now. You can probably hear it from TJ's room. No, listen, I wish. I wish I was in DC right now. Trust me. I bloody wish. No, I'm stuck in London, unfortunately. I'm in beautiful, sunny London at the moment.
Yeah. Jurrien, I created that, which is awkward.
Did you actually create that?
Yeah, I did.
Oh crap! Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. I put that in Lee's chat probably 4 months ago, which makes this story even funnier. So yeah, no, but I'm walking by and Cecil sees that I'm wearing a top. He's like, hey, would you want to do an interview and see the new kit? Have you ever seen the new kit? And I'm like, yeah, I know who you guys are. Sure. You know, I'm like, I have my own YouTube channel too. You know, they were nice enough.
Let's be honest. The majority of us did see it, and they did ask. Like, I wouldn't fully. I'd probably say yes if I'm going to be honest, because if they were doing a shout out for you, I'd do it. I'd do it anyway. Because any publicity is good publicity.
They did shout out that I had a channel, but it got cut. That's the thing. So if you guys go to AFTV and you go to the jersey review where they're interviewing the fans, I think I'm in the first like 30 seconds. I gave my honest opinion on the new kit. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I'm surprised they even kept that in. That it was a 5 out of 10. I thought,
I'm
5 out of 10. We can't keep that in. Arsenal won't be happy.
Exactly.
You know,
I mean, it was one of those things where it was surreal because it's like you see like Cecil doing the freaking ice rice baby video, and now I literally had watched that 2 days ago, and now I'm standing right next to him, and I'm like almost like my brain's going crazy. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I did the interview. It was cool. Like it was weird. It was weird to meet Robbie. It was weird.
You'll probably see them again, TJ. You'll probably end up seeing them again. Because they'll do interviews outside the stadium after the game.
I know, but I'm not gonna like seek them out. You know what I mean?
Of course. No. Yeah. No.
But it was definitely weird. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they didn't do that. I mean, and Carl, well, like I told you in the chat, so they asked me what I thought of the jersey, and I said it was 5 out of 10, and then the video cut. But I went on and said the shirts don't matter, the results do. That got cut out. So wife was there. She could corroborate that I said that, and I left. So after I left those guys, I walked along a little further, and Turkish was sitting on a bench with Robbie, and I wanted to meet Turkish. I have not met Turkish before. So when I see him on a bench, I'm like, I got to say hi to Turkish. I got to get a photo with Turkish, right?
100%.
Yeah, so I did get a photo. So I asked Turkish for a photo, but all 4 of them got up. So I have a picture of me, Robbie, I forget the other dude's name because I don't watch AFTV.
Lee Judges.
It wasn't Lee. Lee was behind with Cecil doing more.
Oh, James. It was James.
James. Yeah. So it was just weird. It was a weird experience. And I was literally it was just weird, man. It was surreal. So,
and you got it right behind the you got the photo right where the what's it called was? What's the word? The monument. That's literally right behind you in the picture.
Oh yeah, Washington Monument.
Monument. That's it. I don't know how that went out of my head.
Yeah, Washington Monument, and I have a picture with them, and like the picture that my wife got of me getting interviewed in the White House, like in front of the White House, like all these different things. And then obviously I kept running into them throughout the day. Yeah. Like Lincoln Memorial, World War II Memorial. I kept running into him. I'm like, I told my wife, I'm like, we got to go somewhere else.
The only thing now is that you'll be now sat next to them at the stadium. That's the next thing. You'll sat next to them in the stadium.
Well, no, and it's just like, and I'm just kind of like, and I told my wife, I'm like, if there's one person that I want to meet on this trip, it's Troops.
Oh, Troops. Yeah.
Troops. If I run into Troops, I'll go out of my way to see him. But yeah, seeing Turkish was cool. Turkish was a real one too. He was really cool.
Yeah, no, I like Turkish. He gives a straight out opinion, so I like that.
But anyway, so that's the story. It's literally innocuous. Like we didn't talk anything, and they cut out the one point that I wanted to make. So we move.
Yeah, 100%. I'll ask you now, TJ, because obviously you're going to the game tonight.
Yeah,
How much are you looking forward to it? Because it's your first Arsenal game, and obviously you've already experienced the first. And I know it's not the biggest game; it's a friendly. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But a first game is a first game, and this game will live in your memory forever. I can tell you that for free. And that's just saying as a younger fan. I can remember my first game.
Yeah.
How excited are you? Because I know it's only preseason, but you'll see Declan Rice. I'm pretty sure he'll start
Rice
tonight.
will start tonight.
And you'll see, obviously, I think hopefully Timber gets some minutes as well. So how excited are you? Are you looking forward to it?
So I was having this conversation with a couple of guys down at the bar, and I said, it's one of those things where I fell in love with the team. Like I followed the team for 10 years, but I definitely fell in love with the team over COVID just because it was the only thing you could watch, right? Yeah. And literally, I've been following this team. I follow, like, this is my favorite sporting team, period. So the fact that I get to see them live, like I keep telling my wife, I'm like, I'm probably going to get a little emotional when we walk into that stadium and I see the badge on the scoreboard. Like, are you kidding me? Right. 100%. So yesterday was one of those days that's going to live in my memory for a long time, just for what happened, just because of what happened.
Yeah.
And I got to see all the stuff. I've never been to DC, and I'm a big American history nerd too. So being able to see that is incredible. But yeah, there are no words for how excited I am to go there. I mean, and even just down at the pub, we were singing, like everybody's singing constantly, drinking. Doesn't matter where you're from in the United States. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was incredible. Like the Gooner support in the United States is second to none. Obviously, we aren't as let's just say physically intimidating. Like I'm pretty sure if a Spurs fan came by in the UK, like we said earlier, they would have gotten trounced. But the love is there. We were singing like literally this crowd is like singing Santi Cazorla songs and
no, you got to give credit to you guys out in America. You're vocal. You're still vocal, and I still believe you are the biggest international fan base that we've got. Maybe Asia might be bit bigger, but you guys are one of the biggest, and you always turn up for all these pre-seasons that we do in America, and I think you love it, honestly, and I think we'll turn up, and I think we'll do a great job. And big up Kenny Ken.
Big up Kenny Ken.
Sorry about that. I was just had a bit of an emergency, so I was out. So, but it actually finished at 6:05.
Well, no worries, Kenny. I knew it was going to be tight because I didn't want to conflict with Jez's stream here happening here in about half an hour. So thanks for coming on.
Are you going to the match?
Yeah, I'm going to the match tonight. Yeah.
Whereabouts is it again?
It's Washington D.C. At 1:30 a.m. UK.
Yeah, 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Oh right. You so right. So you got how many tickets you get?
I got 2. One for me, one for my wife. So it's gonna be
brilliant.
Crazy.
It's his first Arsenal game as well, Kenny.
Yeah.
It's his first ever one.
Oh, brilliant! It'll be a great experience. Trust me. Especially, and he will play a strong side. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah.
Because we've got the Community Shield in about like 2 weeks, and it's Man City. We're gonna it's big games, and plus when we got games with Barcelona and Man United. So one thing is you won't be seeing Tom's party because I think he's flying out soon in about a day or two.
I'm just glad to see that he's flying out. That's it, and we can get into what lineups we want to see because I want to see what you guys think. I think I was reading this morning Arteta's press conference, or he said that he wants to play him strong and he's not going to let his foot off the gas, which I'm hoping so. So So let me just address the chat real quick and we'll get into that. Big up Carl Rossi, Jamino, Mr. Post Office. Obviously, Jez is here. Jaime, my buddy that I met at the bar last night. Big up, my friend. Thanks for joining. Clock Orange, all the legends in here. Thank you so much for joining. You guys are incredible. We got 12 inside. Make sure you are smashing the like. I'm really excited about the game tonight. Let's see. There was one that I wanted to do. Carl said, were they hard to get? As soon as I had my finger on the button as soon as I saw that the game was announced. I literally called my wife and said, we're going. So
That's good news.
we're
Great
going.
stuff.
So yeah, they weren't that hard to get just because I was like finger on the button. You know, they aren't as popular as Taylor Swift tickets, but we move, right? So
So as long as you printed out a PDF, is it PDF?
it's not a well, I think it's a PDF, but they don't do that over here anymore. They only do digital.
No, they do it here. They do it here now for the for the
scanning?
community. So we all got PDF tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Kenny, don't talk to me about Community Shield tickets. I've literally tried my hardest to get decent tickets.
I
but
saw
the
that those were
prices-
real expensive. I mean, are they out of control expensive?
Well, the Man City tickets are about 40 quid online. And now Arsenal tickets are they were down to about 140, but now they're back up to 180. And I thought, as much as I would love to go to Wembley, I just can't pay it.
Why are they
it's-
City tickets so much?
Because they've got to travel. We don't, because we're right next to the Wembley. So they're sort of thinking about they've got to travel. They do have to. Legitimately, they'll probably pay more than Arsenal fans to actually get to the stadium. So they're thinking about it like that. But still, it's too much money, man. Like
I think you got the tickets that were left because
probably.
Obviously people got season tickets like me. We'll get the first bit and we'll choose whatever we want, and then it'll go down to silver and red members, and then it gets down, and that's when the prices can go up down to availability. The popular tickets are obviously nearer to go, but standing, like higher up in the stadium where you're not too close. Yeah, there's it's quite expensive as well, but it's more popular.
Yeah, exactly. But even last season, Kenny, I was trying to get tickets before it was pretty much a big game. When we played Bournemouth at home, even that, it was impossible to get tickets. It's just difficult to get tickets with Arsenal now. But my uncle's my uncle's linking me up because he's a season ticket holder. So whenever he can't go to the game, I'll just get the ticket and I'll be able to go.
Fair enough. That's good news.
So that'll be fat. I want to go this season. Definitely, I want to go this season at one point. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I need to make it over there for a game. I know. Going tonight is only going to whet the appetite to go to.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, and the Arsenal supporters out here are absolutely class. I'm sure we're going to be singing the entire time, and I expect us to win 4-0 minimum.
Yeah,
more than that.
We should absolutely run these guys over.
100%.
So let's talk about the festivities. We won the All-Star competition, the skills competition last night. All these people giving it to Kai Havertz about not hitting the net on the.
What happened? I missed it. Can someone explain? Because all I've got heard is people defending Kai Havertz staunchly, and.
It depends on who you listen to, Kenny. It depends on who you listen to. People are like, "Oh man, he's shit because he didn't hit the net during a volley competition." I'm like, let him play a game. Like, let him play the game. It's just like this. It literally is just to sell tickets. That's all that competition was. You could get in for $15 a ticket. I mean, and I tried to get in, but I tried too late. But all these people, I saw some people on YouTube taking the piss saying, "Oh man, he's shit because he couldn't hit the net." I'm like, who cares?
Were they Chelsea fans by any chance?
Huh?
Were they Chelsea fans by any chance?
I don't.
Oh, it's all over social media, Kenny. As soon as they see something that a player's done wrong, it's all over social media that he's crap, 65 million, blah blah blah. Do you know what?
Maybe it's the Community Shield.
Exactly. I want him to prove people wrong. I do want him to prove people wrong because I know not a lot of people were excited to have him come into the club. I can understand that. He had a really poor season for Chelsea the last 2 seasons, maybe, even though he did have that moment in the Champions League. But I want to see him prove people wrong. I really do, and I hope he can because he's still young. And I just want to play him in the right position.
Potential, haven't we? We haven't bought his performance. We've bought potential, which again. What we want is guaranteed players. But at the end of the day, my concerns is disruption at midfield. If you disrupt that midfield, don't get it wrong. Majority of our games, where we, especially at home, we are going to be strong. But where it gets in a situation where we're 6 pointers, I would prefer to go with a rock solid midfield, and that doesn't include Kai Havertz. If you're paying £65 million for him, then I would have thought someone further forward. But again, I've got genuine fears about our midfield if Thomas Partey's not in part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, if rumors are to be believed, the latest rumors he's going to stay and he's flying out. So hopefully
that's massive.
If we can keep Thomas Partey, my confidence in us being top of the league is growing. It's growing.
100%.
Especially because did you guys see the rumors that Riyad Mahrez is going to Saudi?
Yes,
it is. Yeah,
that's a huge miss for Manchester City. So now they're missing Bernardo Silva and Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah.
And who else left? Gundo went to Barcelona.
Yes,
they're not looking as strong. There's some cracks in the armor. Not to say that Pep can't get over it. I'm not saying we're going to definitely win the league, but all I'm saying is that Man City are not as strong as they were last season. We are at least on paper stronger.
Yeah, but no, we're making good moves, and there's also. But the one thing I'm worried about is if we keep Thomas Partey, obviously Declan Rice is in that team 100%. I don't want it to be a situation of where we now have to drop. Arteta now decides to drop Partey as like the next. You know how he likes to drop a player every season. You know, we had Kieran Tierney, then it was a Bamiyang. Yeah. I don't want Partey to become that for Kai Havertz. You know, I feel like he's going to do that with Kai. He'll drop Partey and then leave him, and then Kai Havertz is now going to be the new player to now come in. You know,
that's the situation. Is that you think about Kai Havertz, whatever position you play Kai Havertz, it's going to be like a situation where certain players are going to have to fight for their places. I don't think it should be Thomas Partey. I think that my midfield three would be Thomas Partey, Odegaard, alongside Declan Rice because of Thomas Partey's experience and you know Declan Rice. They say he's got levels to his game that he, you know, we haven't seen the sort of full repertoire of what he could do in the attack. So we could free him further forward, and Thomas Partey could hold, and that would give us some solidity. But if you look at Kai Havertz's acquisition, if you were to play him in the Granit Xhaka's position, that's a challenge to Fabio Vieira. Whatever you think of him, and that's a challenge. And if you play him up front, that's a massive challenge to Smith Rowe as well.
Yeah.
Or if Odegaard gets injured, that's a play you can fit in. So there's the whole situation is that it's food for thought for a lot of players, and it is competition. It gives the players maybe a kick out the backside, but it's one of those things where we have, if we're going to go deep into competitions, which we need to do because we have to win a trophy with the money if we spent on. You don't buy £1 million player to finish fourth. Sorry, but
100%. No, you don't. No, not at all. But it's also the thing that the way I look at it, Kenny and TJ, I look at it and think, looking at it as a starting 11 wise, it doesn't make sense to bring in Havertz, especially if we're going to keep Partey. But in the likes of now, we're hitting the Champions League and we're getting into these competitions. As a player to have to sort of fit in if you want to rotate, it is a good option to have, in my opinion, because I do think he can produce something. He's still young, but if we're going to try and do this thing where we're now, Arteta's sort of now thinking, right, 65 million, I'm going to have to get him into the squad somehow. Maybe that's now up front. Put Jesus out. That's not what I want. I do like the idea of having him as a rotational, but and maybe fighting for his place. Maybe we're taking over Odegaard at some point.
At £65 million, we have to like be pessimistic for the other players' chances because at £65 million, it's a squad player at Man City, but not at Arsenal. If you're paying £65 million, you have to start.
Kenny, we're paying him £330,000 a week.
Yeah, but Dave, we have form for paying a lot of money for players and then finding out fitting. You have to look at Nicola Pepe. Pepe was a player that that was highly sought after. We were hearing, not particularly everyone's first choice. I know it wasn't Unai Emery's first choice. Unai Emery wanted Wilfried Zaha, and he wanted Zaha, and he wanted Thomas Partey a year earlier. But we got Pepe, with a combination of Arteta and Unai Emery. The problem with Pepe is that if you want to play in English football now, especially for the top six sides, you have to be able to run, whether you like it or not. You're an athlete. If you can't run, you're not playing. Doesn't matter how good you are. It's off the ball. You have to run, or if you're or be Harry Kane, and drop in deep and give it to players with pace in front of you. But if you don't run, you can't play.
Exactly. So who do you think, what do you think the starting 11 will be tonight and moving forward? I honestly think and hope, as much as we're paying Havertz, I don't want to see him in the starting 11. I don't.
No.
Unless it's like in an FA Cup game or an early group stage of the Champions League, I don't want to see him. I think we have, especially if Partey stays, we have one level above him, one layer of depth above him that he can penetrate, which is Odegaard, Partey, and Rice. So Conor, why don't you what do you want to see the starting 11 be throughout the preseason, and maybe who rotates in?
Well, in terms of tonight, I do see Havertz playing just because I don't think Partey will play tonight.
No,
he's in America, but he won't play.
So I don't think he's playing.
So in terms of tonight, I do want to see. I wouldn't mind seeing Havertz, Odegaard, and Declan Rice. I think that's what I want to be seeing, just to see. Because in no defense, I don't think we're going to be defending as much. I want to think we're going to be the more attacking side tonight. So I wouldn't mind seeing a more attacking style of football with 2 attacking midfielders, and I think Declan Rice can hold his own in the back line. So I'd like to see them 3 in midfield. I wouldn't mind seeing Timber play. I want to see
Timber at right.
I wouldn't mind seeing Timber play. Maybe drop either Gabriel or Saliba. Maybe even drop Ben White if he wants to play at right back. I don't know where he's going to play him. I want to see Kieran Tierney play. I don't want this Kivior at left back because Zinchenko. I don't think is Zinchenko there. Is he?
He's there, but he is. I don't think he. I don't want to see.
I think he might have a knock. I don't know. Well, if he does have a knock, I do want to see Kieran Tierney play because he needs to have a game. It's ridiculous now. If Kivior was playing, I don't care if he's the new kid in the block. Tierney must have a game. It's ridiculous at that point, in my opinion. And I do want to see Saka still there because Saka's our star boy, isn't he? I wouldn't mind seeing Martinelli play and. Get Jesus back in there. Get him scoring. I do want to see Balogun play, but we need to have Jesus his confidence back up and scoring because that's what he was missing at the end of last season.
That's I think when you mention Balogun, that is a problem for the football club.
Yeah,
it's a massive problem for the football club in terms of what do you do with him, because simple reason is that footballing logic says that he's not going to get any first team football. If someone's offering stupid money for him, you sell a player. But the problem is that the potential and the fact that he's done it in a big league. People can call the French league a farmers league as much as they like. The fact is that that he's in a league. He's done it in a recognised league. Scored 20 goals, and and these. So we're going to have a look at him. You have to cast your mind back. Rewind back to last season when Saliba was on loan a lot to the French league. He's come back. He got his chance at pre-season, and he forced his way into the side. There has to be some sort of encouragement in that, unless the players said, "I want to leave." But if the player hasn't said he wants to leave, he says he wants first team football. Then you put it this. You look at it this way. Are you going to say, right, that's a challenge, or are you going to say? You'll rather him say, I'm going to fight for my place. Depends how it is. But I do look at it and I do think that if we don't get in a striker, I want to see him stay. Because if it's a case where if we get in another striker, I mean, we're looking at a forward, but he's not a striker like Kudu's fella from Ajax, but he's not a striker. I want to see him. In an ideal world, I want to see Jesus and Balogun fight it out for that striker position. Because I think the more they fight it, the more dedicated they'll be for that slot. In my opinion, the biggest problem is that Eddie Nketiah is in front of him. So Eddie Nketiah is in front of him.
See you later.
Then we've got a problem.
And he's got to go, Kenny. There's no way that they'll keep him.
Guys, here's the thing that I don't understand, and then Conor, I'll let you go. Here's the thing that I don't understand is there are no offers on the table for Eddie Nketiah. None.
Yes.
But Inter Milan put in a 40 million bid for Balogun. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, TJ. I know there's no bids for Nketiah, but I don't understand from the way. I know he had a good game against United last season. I think he had another good game in that December period. But he is unfortunately not good enough for Arsenal, and it's very clear. And I don't get if Arteta can't see this. If he can't see that Balogun is a better striker than Nketiah, why are we keeping him? Why does he? He doesn't need to be here. I think even Nketiah knows in himself that he doesn't need to be at Arsenal. because he's not going to get ahead of Jesus, even though Jesus wasn't fantastic last season. He had good moments, got a good couple goals, but he knows he's not going to get ahead of him. So why keep him when we've got a better tackler than Balogun? And I don't want this to be another situation where we sell Balogun for a good fee. If we sell him for 50, I'll be happy. But I don't want it to be another Nabry. I don't want it to be another Donyell Marlon. These players that we're selling that are fantastic prospects that we sold for nothing and are now fantastic. And have won titles and trophies. So yeah. Kenny, what do you think about Nketiah? You want to sell Nketiah, Kenny?
Yeah, but football's full of players, unfortunately, because where you get it wrong, you have to look at the Chelsea situation, De Bruyne and Salah.
Yeah.
Mourinho wasn't played them, but not enough, and then they've gone and forged over careers. I think that's the risk you've got to take. Balogun's one situation is different. I think he'd be an absolute fool to stay at the club if he's behind Eddie Nketiah. Just to get on the subs bench, he'd be a fool to stay at the club. Absolute fool. I want him to stay, but if I was his agent, I'd say go, because the simple reason is that he's not. He has to be a situation. If you score 21 goals in the French league, and you've proved yourself, then you shouldn't be going on loan. You should be, having that starting, fighting alongside Eddie. If not taking that starting berth from, Jesus to start football matches. Yeah. That's what's got to happen, because that is the development. You've been told to go out on loan to learn your trade. You've learnt your trade. You come back. The situation has to change. If it hasn't changed, then the club have to counter losses. Another thing the club got to look at as well is England tax. Obviously, TJ, you're from the USA, and you're glad he's got him. But in terms of commercial value, it's more beneficial to Arsenal commercially if he plays for England.
Right.
So Arsenal may look at that and say, right, if someone's going to offer silly money, now we might as well. That's another consideration. But the best way to, sort this all out is give him games. You know what Jesus can do in an Arsenal shirt. You know what Eddie can do in an Arsenal shirt. Let's have a look at him in an Arsenal shirt. It won't do any harm. Doesn't mean you don't. It doesn't mean that you're obliged to start him in the Nottingham Forest game. But it is something we've got to look at. We need to have a look at him in an Arsenal shirt.
I agree with that. Not to put down Nottingham Forest as much as I already have, but we should beat them no matter who's in center forward position. Shout out long-haired Yeti. I don't care. We should beat them 4-0 minimum, 100%. And it doesn't matter who's at center forward. So why not start Flo? He's looked great for the U.S. men's national team, and I would love to see him get a run out tonight, maybe in the second 45. Who knows? It's one of those things where I don't think he's gotten the proper Premier League exposure. No.
He's only ever played in the Europa League. That's when he got thrown out. So
lockdown season. He scored a couple of goals in the Europa League, isn't he?
Yeah. Scored about 2 or 3.
Yeah, so that's one of those things where I mean, has he played? I think I've only ever seen him play one game in the Prem that I remember.
I don't think he's in. I don't think he's in.
It might have been a friendly. No,
did you remember the League Cup game that we played him, and Eddie was playing up front where we wanted to have a look at him, and he played him on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and that made me when we played him on the right against Nuremberg, I was like, why are we doing that? We talked about that on the last show. Why are we doing that? Play him in the position that he was meant to be played. Otherwise, we might as well sell him, because he's not supposed to be playing on the right. He's never going to get in on the right over Saka. I mean, and we signed Reece Nelson for what, right? So if you're going to play him on the right, you're only really playing him on the right to see what he can do at that point.
That's another thing I don't get, TJ. I don't get why it's clear that we're now looking for a right-sided forward. Why we're not going for a striker, I don't know. But why are we looking for a right-sided forward when we've just done Nelson for a new deal? Because then if I'm Nelson, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, hold on a minute, I've just signed a new deal with you guys, looking to fight for my place in the right wing, which fair enough. Any player deserves to fight for their place, in my opinion. However people may think of him, a player deserves to fight for their place. And the fact that he's just signed a new deal, and now it's come out saying that we are looking for a new right forward or someone to maybe compete with both Nelson and Saka. If I'm Nelson, I'm sitting there thinking, why have I just signed then? Why have you just asked to sign me a new contract with you guys if you're now looking for another right forward? Like, that person doesn't make sense to me. Like it doesn't at all. It might, even if we sold Nketiah and now we're still looking to bring in another forward, then what does that do to Balogun? Like, that's another situation for Balogun. Like that personally, it's either get a striker, sell Balogun and Eddie, or do nothing, in my opinion. But
yeah, but the thing is that whether we like or not, that's a massive elephant room. Everyone said, yeah, we scored 81 goals, we scored loads of goals, and that's great. The fact is, what Man City showed last season is they sold them Jesus and sold them, Zinchenko, and they won a treble. And the reason why they won a treble is because they replaced Jesus's 10 goals with
Haaland's
with 52 goals. Haaland's 52 goals.
Yeah.
And that won the treble. That definitely got them through to the FA Cup final. That definitely got them deep in the Champions League, which they eventually won. Yeah. And it won the league. So people say, oh, yeah, but they have other players and they've won with, false number 9. Yeah. But that player took them to another level.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly right. Well, you would hope that we would get the level of striker that we need in. I mean, and if it doesn't happen, if it's not happening by winter to where it's looking, the winter transfer window where it's not looking like we're going to be up near the top or we're in a battle, we need to get a top striker. We need to go get Ivan Toney. We need to sell Nketiah.
We need to sell so much. Like I'm seeing Cedric wants to fight for his place. Now I know I just said about that every player deserves to fight for their place, but when you're not that good and you just but it's another thing. We've just signed Timber.
Who's going to prove it again that he's not that good either?
Well, exactly. But we've just signed Timber, who says his strongest position is a fullback. He can't even play left back apparently. Mm-hmm. Why? And I get Cedric is booting himself up. He wants to earn his place, but I'm just like, mate, come on, you're 31 now. You didn't really make it into the Arsenal first team in the first place. You were only really there in case there was an injury or there was a rotation in cups. Enough of this sentimental stuff. He's got to go. Rob Holding's got to go. Samuel Okonga isn't on the preseason tour. He's got to go. But I think, again, I want to make it clear, I don't want to terminate these guys' contracts. The Saudi Arabia have just bought Jordan Henderson. Come on now. Listen, I respect Jordan Henderson, fantastic player for Liverpool, but in last year or two, he's been not good for Liverpool whatsoever. The Saudis will buy anyone. I generally think they'll buy Cedric and Rob Holding.
They probably will. I think the thing about it is that Arsenal, a lot of people, I think it's widely known, it's widely accepted that if Arsenal, for us to buy any more players, we're going to have to reduce our wage, but we've got to sell players. We now know that Thomas Partey isn't one of those players.
Yep.
So the next cabinet rank has to be players like Lokonga. It has to be players like Rob Holding. If the rumor mills to be believed, Lokonga doesn't have a future at the football club. Rob Holding, I'm hearing Fenerbahce are interested in him. But and then teams are about 5 teams in for Balogun. Players have to go. Players have to go, preferably, and every player who's not getting first team football, not starting games, is, as far as I'm concerned, is in the shop window.
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
No, I agree, and I want to see him in the shop window in the last 45 minutes of tonight's match. How about that?
Yeah.
After we have secured the lead, go ahead and bring him in. Let me shout out a couple in the chat. Brad, my buddy from Kansas City, big up, Brad. Thank you so much for hopping in and saying hello. We got Luke AFC in the building. Obviously, Carl Rossi, Mama Flossie, Mr. Post Office, everybody is here. Make sure you are smashing the likes, sharing the channel around. And if you are new, hit that subscription button and the notification button. We are going live all over the place, especially in the upcoming season. Conor and I and Dal have a bunch of different things stirring in the tank right now, especially for the American Idiot Show, which are going to be game changing. So make sure that you guys are doing that. Yes, Arsenal 1:30 in the morning for you guys, Luca. Stay up. Yeah. You might see me on TV.
I wouldn't mind throwing Kenny this question quickly. I think, Kenny, you may have answered this before, maybe on Jez's stream, but I haven't personally heard it from you. What is your aim for Arsenal this season? And I know we could probably say win the Premier League, but I'm going to put it in a state of for Arteta's job. Because in my opinion, if there's no silverware, he's got to go. So what do you expect from this squad especially from last season, which I think we can do it again. I really hope that this squad can pull through and do it again, but win it, like Liverpool done. But obviously they won Champions League that season. What do you think Arsenal are going to do this season, and what do you think Arteta should be doing this season? Obviously, we'll win it sort of well.
Well, there's no excuses now. There's no excuses from any of the fans that we can't compete with other clubs in terms of what they spent in the money because we just bought £100 million player. So there's no excuses. You know, people said the squad's too thin. Well, if he's trying to buy 3 players for one position, it isn't thin. Yeah, so he can go deep in every competition. We can go deep in every competition we compete in, and that includes the League Cup. That includes the League Cup, FA Cup, and the Champions League. So you know, I'm not saying we should go. We're going to win a quadruple, but let's be competitive in every competition. Let's try and win a trophy. He does not deliver silverware with the money we spent and with the players, the squad he has. Then he's not the right man for the job, and someone else has to come in and take over and accelerate whatever process he has. It's no excuses. There isn't a process no more. You know, the fact is that if you bought, you know, the squad is deep, is getting deeper now, and people are telling us that it's deep with quality that can take us that next step. So the next step is win. Next step is to win the league, go one better. Yeah. I mean, come on, the challenge the challenge for Liverpool, Man United, Arsenal, and say Newcastle, being nice, is that unless you want to keep on saying the Premiership is the best league in the world. Well, if Man City win it 14 times in a row, you've got to challenge that assertion. You have to.
Exactly.
You have to 100%. Challenge that assertion because, you know, you say it's the best league in the world, yet a team, Man City won it 3 times in a row. If they go deep in every competition and win it all again, then I'm sorry, this is akin to what we're seeing in north of the border, or what we're seeing in if we go further down to the deep into like Northern Europe, at just northwest Europe where Germany is. We're seeing that in Germany and we're seeing it in France. You can't call it a competitive league if teams going to win it. And Arsenal have proved that there's no excuses. They have to challenge for the league and have to win a trophy. If Arteta does not win a trophy, then his job's on the line. It's simple. 100%. You know.
Do you reckon he knows that, Kenny? Do you reckon he knows that? Do you reckon he knows that?
I think so.
Really? Yeah.
I think so. He's not. I don't see any Arsenal player celebrating finishing second. The captain's attitude has been exemplary. He's not stupid enough to think, "Oh, I'm happy." Boom. He's not. He was devastated that we win the league. Yeah. You know, I wish he would send a memo to Aaron Ramsdale, because he sees Aaron Ramsdale sees his little person will celebrate us winning the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Get big game attitude, mate. We haven't won anything. You would have thought that we've won the boat race alongside all the he's going along. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I hope he knows that this has to be the season now, because I believe, as it stands, I think this is the most amount of money we've spent whilst he's been here. I think maybe we spent 250. I might be wrong, but I think we might be sat at the most money he's ever spent being here. And I think is it about $1 billion now he's spent? Nearly that, going towards it. So he has to know he's not safe. Well, I want Edu or the board to make it clear to him, Mikel, it's this season or nothing, mate. Because I'm sorry, we've given you all these resources and all this. Like, not many managers have this in front of them. They don't get this amount of money. You've spent your money. You've got your team. This is your team now. I think El Neni and Holding are the only players left from Wenger's era now. This is your team. It's more expensive than, like Jurrien says, it's more valuable than City squad. This has to be it now. You know.
I can't agree. You know, even sorry. Even moving forward, you think about it, right? In other countries, they call it hoops. I call it a steeplechase. Every steeplechase every hurdle of the steeplechase, this guy's been set. He's dealt with. He's got rid of the dead wood, got rid of the bad eggs. Yeah. He's he's got a younger squad that he wants, and he's got the players that he wants. So all the excuses are over now. First few seasons, we had the first excuse of the cabinet rank in terms of excuses. It was, got to get rid of Unai, have my own team. Then we had to get rid of the bad eggs. Then we had to get rid of the dead wood, and then we had to get players who can teach us how to win and perform in big matches. And now we've got to spend £100 million players are spending big money. So all the hurdles of the steeplechase is over now. You're now at the finishing line. Deliver. Simple. Deliver.
I can tell you with a certain amount of confidence, guys, that and Josh was at the training ground yesterday, by the way, and he has been. Kroenke is in town for this. So with the amount of money that they have spent to plug the holes in this club, which there were gaping holes at center mid, and our center back positions, right? Now that we've plugged those holes with very, very good players and spent the money to do so, he expects silverware. I do not expect Arteta to survive this season if we don't win a trophy, period.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. Because look. At the end of the day, it's a business, right? There's no feeling. There's no. It's a results-driven business. Big up, Jez. We'll be over at your channel in a little while, my friend. Yeah. And at the end of the day, the Kroenkes want to win. And if they feel they have a club that can win, I've seen it before with their other sports franchises over here in America. They will sack the coach. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. And a lot of people that are Arteta in are, well, no, they're buddy. He's going to stay here forever. He won't. I think that the level that some of our friends expect, like a Premier League trophy, isn't necessarily what they expect, but they expect FA Cup minimum. I would say if we win a trophy this season, he'll stay. But we'll win a trophy. We'll need to win a trophy, and we'll need to get European competition again.
But it has to be. But it has to be a major. I mean, I want a trophy this season.
I agree with you, Conor.
Not this season, but we've got to go on and win a major because you can't spend this much money and just expect FA Cups every season.
Right, and I'm talking in the context of this season. I'm not talking. But eventually, the levels of expectation raise every single time.
We've got to go for a major.
They're going to be expected because they're going to be expected this time next year. If we finish second and win the FA Cup, Arteta's still here. We're going to end up having the same conversation again, but the level of expectation is going to be that notch higher.
Unfortunately, it has to be. It has to be because we're the third biggest club in the country. But it's a bit ironic when you see bird brains on other channels calling the FA Cup and the League Cup small trophies. Well, I'm not too funny. You look at the annals of the FA Cup and League Cup. You tell me how many times a team outside the traditional top six, or if you want to include top six, has won it. I can't think of one team outside the top six of having won it. And I'll tell you why that they win it. One, when it gets to Wembley and they've got 50,000 of their fans there, they ain't going to dare lose it. Especially if they're playing someone outside the top six, they have to win it. Another thing as well, invariably, despite what these bird brains call a small trophy, the fact is it's kept a lot of managers in a job and it's given them time. Ten Hag has got time at Man United because he won a trophy.
Yep.
Not because he came third, because he won a trophy. Same with Mourinho in his first season when he finished sixth at Man United. He won the League Cup and the UEFA Cup. That's kept him virtually in a job and gave him a bit of breathing space. And that's the thing. The FA Cup and winning a cup does keep a top six manager in his job, whether they like it or not.
Yep.
100%.
Probably the reason why Conte and Mourinho thought would be indispensable, despite the fact they had one time a hand tied around the back, is because they haven't won anything. They're great managers, but they haven't won anything. So, in terms of what Spurs fans want, the football, they say the football's been terrible at Tottenham. They say that, not me. So the only compensation for that poor display or poor style of play is a trophy. They haven't got it. So these managers are dispensable. And that's the thing. Yeah. You're dispensable if you can't win trophies at a big club. I'm sorry, but that's 100%. The way it's done now.
Well, it's I keep going back to this. At the end of the day, it's a business. These people are running a business. You're not going to run if your business is not winning or is not making money in the way that it should, or achieving accolades the way that it should, or the way the fan base expects. They're going to want to change. It's like Lee Gunner always says: they are dispensable employees. At the end of the day, that's the way it is. It's harsh. It's not the Arsenal family way of thinking of things, all lovey-dovey and kisses and hugs and all gathered around the fire at Christmas. It's a business at the end of the day. Yep. So, all right, guys, we're gonna start wrapping this up because we're gonna head over to Jez's channel. This was always gonna be a shorter one because I have other things I need to see in DC before I head down to Duke's and begin the march down to the stadium.
Like Washington, what's he like down there? Because like I said, is it in the north or because is it in the south?
It's
Kenny,
in the middle.
Kenny, TJ met AFTV. They were by the White House.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Kenny, he got onto the channel. He got about a 20-second clip. But TJ, do a quick summary of what they cut some bits out that you said.
Yeah, so they cut bits out. They asked me.
Actually, what? AFTV cut bits out. I think one of the reasons why AFTV was popular is because if you speak for 5 minutes, you get the old 5 minutes. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. No, dude, they so Cecil was asking me about the away kit and I said the things that I liked about it and I said the things that I didn't like about it, namely the colors. But I said, it's a 5 out of 10, but at the end of the day, it's the results that matter, not the shirt, right? Not the shirt color. That got cut out.
Jesus Christ, they really don't upset the football club, do they?
No, I said to TJ, Kenny, I'm surprised he even kept the 5 out of 10 in because can't say 5 out of 10 because that'll upset Arsenal. It's meant to be a 10 out of 10, but no.
Yeah, and then the next guy, and the next guy that they put on the video was like, "Oh, it's a 10 out of 10. This is incredible." I'm like, it's not.
What do you think about quickly, Kenny? Kenny, what do you think about the away shot? I think it's awful. I think that's probably the worst Adidas.
You know what?
That they've made.
Thing of me, I've probably need to ask me missus because she knows about colour coordination. But one thing I do know, the black away kit was universally loved. The majority of Arsenal fans who bought it and said they loved it.
Yeah,
outweighs the amount of fans now. All I get about the kit now is criticism. I mean, the first thing I thought about was Tony the Tiger out of the Frosties advert. That's what I thought. That's the first when I saw it. You know what I mean? Hey, I've got breaking news for you. Aubameyang is close to finalising his deal to go back to France in Marseille. Yeah.
Marseille.
So for all those people who think he's Gabonese, he is Gabonese on his father's side, but he's half Spanish. But he actually grew up and was brought up in France and could have played for France.
Yeah. Do you know what? That whole Chelsea thing was wrong. He shouldn't have done that. That whole Chelsea thing was just so wrong. Like, I know he wanted probably to go back to the Prem and, because obviously, Lewandowski came into Barcelona. He probably wouldn't have started. And obviously, Depay was coming in as well. But, I think, do you know what? I want him to do well in France because now he'll be back with Lacazette because Lacazette's now in Lyon, isn't he? So they'll be back together, sort of. So, good for. I hope he does well in Marseille.
Is Alexis Sanchez at Marseille?
Nah, he's gone.
He's gone?
His contract. Well, he wanted to come back here, didn't he? He asked
yeah. I forgot about that. Oh my God, yeah. So I thought it was like Alexis Sanchez. I
want him over back on principle. The fact is, any player who holds out and doesn't sign a new contract the year before and tries to force a move, you're no good to me. I don't need you in my life anymore, my footballing life anyway. That's the thing. I'm all for players bettering themselves, but if they're not committed to the football club, then it's time for them to go. That's simple. The club's bigger than one player. I respect the fact that they have ambitions. Be honest with the fans. Say you want to leave to win trophies. Go with my blessing. Fine. But if you try to come back after you've left, no, the door's closed, mate, for me.
Yeah. No, the door's closed for me. And for both of them. For Abba and Sanchez. Like, no, you didn't want to be here? That's fine. Yeah. See you later. And you can argue all until the cows come home about how the Aubameyang situation was handled, whether it was Arteta's fault or Aubameyang's fault. But at the end of the day, I don't think it really makes a difference. We were going to finish out of Champions League anyway, and people may disagree. People may agree with me on that. At the end of the day,
Aubameyang is best years under Unai Emery anyway.
Aubameyang, as soon as he signed that contract and said, "I want to be an Arsenal legend," that's when it all went there. That's just
but I think it's a style of play, innit? In terms of, again, what we said, in the program, if you can't run in Premiership football, you're not playing.
Well, that's what his attribute was. Even when he played for Dortmund, even before that, when he was at like St Etienne and stuff, he was known for his pace, and that's why he bought him. Everyone knew Aubameyang. He was tall.
But the thing about it is that he wants to play to shoulder defender. He wants to come in off the right hand side. He's got centre forward. Like I said, in terms of portfolio in terms of goals, but actually his best position is actually just off the shoulder on the left hand side where he can, and then he interchanges and he can pop up right. But to actually start with his back to goal, that was never his position. And I was trying to tell people that. And I think the manager was trying to say that as well. I think it started off as footballing reasons. Then it got to a situation where it was disciplinary, where I think it was all they gave him a bye. Like Unai Emery gave him a bye, Tuchel gave him a bye, and every club gave him a bit of a bye. But this guy thought, I can't allow this. And I think that's where it went wrong. But I think it was footballing reasons as well, where it fell out of Arteta. That's why I always think his best years were under Unai Emery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. 100%. I remember quickly last thing, TJ. I remember the Europa League run we went on. When we lost to Chelsea in the end 4-1. That combination, I think Unai Emery played a 4-4-2, and that combination of Lacazette and Aubameyang that season was unstoppable. They were just unreal, and I was lucky enough to see.
Final.
Until we got to the final, and then no one decided to turn up. But apart from Alex Iwobi. But and I remember because that season I went to my first North London derby, the Arsenal Spurs, we won 4-2, and the football it was fantastic, and that was I really enjoyed it. Emery football. It's just a shame the way it ended, and the way he left. But hey, it's what it is.
It is what it is. Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap her up. Thanks again, Kenny Ken. First time on the channel. Thank you so much.
I just want to apologise for my tardiness.
No,
it wasn't entirely my fault, but it was. I had a good time. Conor, it's always good to speak with you as well. And I just hope you enjoy your first game tonight. And I hope that the manager does you judges and plays a good team. I think you'll see some of our players, but I'm sure that you get to see Arteta's love child, Saka, in the flesh, because wherever happens, morning, night, all day, broken leg or fit leg, he plays.
You'll see some players, TJ. You'll see some players.
Yeah, no, he's my favorite player. I'm expecting to see Saka and Rice minimum. So we'll see. Obviously, I'll let you guys know.
I guarantee you, he's playing. If not for your sake.
100%. 100%.
100%. All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and take it out on that note. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back on Friday, same time, same place, 9 p.m. UK time, for the 20th episode of the American Idiot Show. Make sure you are smashing the likes if you are watching on playback, and let us know what you think about the video. Comment below. And again, Kenny Ken, thank you so much for coming on. You are welcome back anytime.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very appreciate it, mate.
Absolutely, guys. We are out. Talk to you later.